What is the one realization that can shatter every barrier, dissolve every unseen chain, and flood your life with a prosperity so deep it transforms your lineage? It is this. You already possess the authority to create vast wealth because the Creator's intelligence flows through you. You are not hollow, you are not deficient, you are not unworthy. You are a living, breathing instrument of universal design, wired directly into infinite wisdom. Yet most men never activate even a tenth of this inheritance. Why? Because they have been trained to pursue riches in the external world, blind to the truth that the wellspring of all abundance exists within. I need you to stop and consider this. You've been instructed to hustle, to grind, to sacrifice your peace, but you were seldom told to go within. You were taught to pray to a deity in the heavens, but not to awaken the mastermind alliance with the divine inside you. And this is the root of endless struggle. For what you do not activate, you cannot attract. What you do not acknowledge, you cannot harness. The principle of thinking and growing rich is far more than financial advice. It is a cosmic law. It is the understanding that your thoughts shape your identity, your emotions magnetize your reality, and your beliefs construct your world. But if your mind is ruled by the 6 basic fears, if you feel undeserving, if you believe the source is separate from you, then your life will mirror that spiritual fracture. This is why the first step to authentic wealth is not an investment strategy, it is a mental revolution. That revolution ignites the moment you accept that you are not distant from the Creator. You are not a pauper hoping for charity. You are a co-creator dispatched to manifest divine potential on earth. The instant you see yourself as a sovereign partner, not a pleading servant, your entire existence shifts. You cease chasing money and start aligning with its source. You stop striving to prove your worth and begin operating from inherent value. You halt doubts about your future and start constructing it with deliberate intent. Do not confuse this with pride. This is sacred stewardship. You were not placed on this earth merely to survive and comply. You were sent here to construct, to innovate, to uplift, and to prosper. And your triumph is not merely possible, it is essential, for it honors the infinite wisdom that breathed life into you. Now, let's ground this truth. If the divine within holds the master key to all abundance, how do you turn it? First, through belief. Not idle belief, not ritualistic repetition, but fierce, active, deliberate faith. Faith that the desires placed in your spirit are purposeful, holy, and seated there by the Creator Himself. If a vision was entrusted to you, it is your duty to bring it forth. It is not a daydream, it is a directive. Yet belief alone is insufficient. You must also cultivate mental discipline. You must guard your thoughts with vigilance, for your thoughts are blueprints. Each one is etched into the subconscious and manifests as circumstance, either fertile or barren. The man who does not patrol his mind will dwell in chaos, but the man who deliberately chooses thoughts of faith, authority, abundance, and potential, that man begins to shape heaven in the tangible world. Your inner realm is the foundation of your future. You cannot plant thoughts of scarcity and expect a harvest of plenty in your life. You cannot nourish anxiety daily and expect to flourish in trust. You cannot voice lack and magnetize overflow. This is why you must become the commander of your mentality. You must think as a wealthy man long before your first million arrives. You must speak abundance before evidence appears. You must move with certainty before confirmation shows up. And if you're waiting to feel ready, understand this: readiness is a choice. Most men wait for a signal from the world, but the world is waiting for a signal from you. That signal is your decision to ascend, to build, to refuse mediocrity in any guise. That decision must be forged into clarity. Clarity is the fuel of creation. A fuzzy aim yields fuzzy outcomes. A lukewarm desire produces lukewarm effort. So I ask you, what is your definite chief aim? What exact figure? What specific lifestyle? What measurable impact? What enduring legacy? Don't just sense it, define it, document it, declare it, embody it. For a man without a vision will perish, not from a lack of hard work, but from a lack of focus. Once clarity is yours, you must visualize, not as passive fantasy, but as a spiritual practice. See the life you were destined to live. Imagine it with such intensity that your subconscious accepts it as current reality. When your subconscious embraces a truth, it mobilizes unseen forces to materialize it. You begin to operate differently, communicate differently, carry yourself differently, and soon the world mirrors it back. This is how you think and grow rich with the divine, not separate from it. Every phase of your ascent is infused with supreme intelligence. You are not undertaking this alone. You are being guided, shielded, and propelled by a power that cannot fail.
But you must maintain the connection. You must attune your mind like a finely calibrated instrument to the frequency of prosperity. If your mental space is cluttered with doubt, fear, or insufficiency, you are tuned to static. But if your mind resonates with faith, intention, and gratitude, you begin to vibrate in harmony with the abundance that is your birthright. And yes, I said birthright. Abundance is not earmarked for a select few. It is the rightful inheritance of the faithful. It is the natural consequence for the man who obeys universal law, thought, belief, decision, persistence, and generosity. When these are in alignment, wealth flows, not always immediately, but inevitably. And what of obstacles? Will they vanish? No, but your perception of them will transform. The man who walks with the divine sees obstacles as feedback, not defeat. He knows that resistance is a trainer, that delay is development, that rejection is recalibration. He does not fear, he adjusts. He does not surrender, he advances. Why? Because he knows the outcome is divinely ordained. He is not hoping, he is knowing. Let me tell you the reality. The wealthiest men are not those with the highest salaries. They are those with the clearest minds. They are those who have evicted fear from their consciousness. They are those who begin their days not with worry, but with alignment, prayer, affirmation, decisive planning. This alignment is not religious, it is tactical. You cannot generate miraculous results from a disordered mind. You cannot create like a god while thinking like a slave. You must raise your standard. How you awaken, how you speak, how you enter a space, all must proclaim the man you have chosen to become. And what man is that? He is focused, he is deliberate, he is faithful, he is generous, he is disciplined, he is connected, he is courageous, he is powerful. He is a man who thinks and grows rich through the divine intelligence within him, not for selfish gain, but to elevate every life destined to cross his path. Do you grasp that your success is not solely about you? It's about all who will be motivated, employed, enriched, and awakened because you answered your calling. There are destinies linked to your discipline. There are miracles connected to your obedience. There is a legacy forged by your willingness to trust what the Creator planted within you. This is not ego. This is accountability. This is stewardship. And the first domain you must steward is your own mind. That is the genesis of every wonder. You are hereby forbidden to think limited thoughts. You are no longer authorized to conceal your gift. You are no longer receptive to lies of insufficiency. From today onward, you are a conduit of wealth, wisdom, and transformative influence, and that conduit is navigated by divine intelligence at every turn. Your thoughts are no longer accidental. They are architected. Your actions are no longer impulsive, they are purposeful. Your emotions are no longer volatile, they are anchored in faith. This is the updated version of you, the authentic version, the original design the Creator intended before fear entered the narrative. And this version is unstoppable. So begin today. Begin now. Achieve clarity. Think fearlessly. Document your vision. Declare your identity. Affirm your prosperity. Visualize your triumph. Take purposeful action daily. Give without hesitation. Receive without shame. Move with poise. Speak with conviction. Now that you have affirmed who you are and aligned with the infinite, you must move forward not with caution, but with full momentum. Momentum is the silent force that rewards unwavering action, and when that action is directed by divine clarity, it becomes an irresistible tide. As Napoleon Hill taught, definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. This law is eternal. The man who moves with clarity, backed by the God within him, becomes a phenomenon the world must reckon with. Let me ask you, what is your definite chief aim? Can you articulate it in a single sentence? Can you feel its truth in your marrow? Can you declare it with unshakable conviction? If you cannot, you are not building, you are drifting. A man without a purpose is adrift on the currents of others' agendas. But the man with a definite chief aim, inspired by divine desire, becomes a creator in a world of consumers. And your true, God-given purpose will never be petty, selfish, or superficial. It will be profound, rooted in service, expansion, and legacy. It will demand growth. It will demand bravery. But it will also unlock favor, insight, and vitality you never knew you possessed. The moment you commit to your purpose, universal forces respond. You may wonder, how do I know this is my true purpose? I will tell you, your genuine purpose is that which will not release you. It whispers to you in solitude. It stirs you from sleep. It agitates your spirit when you witness need. It is not selected. It is revealed. And once revealed, it must be honored with strategy and structure. Write it down, formulate a plan, fragment it into daily actions. Refuse to let another sunrise find you living by accident. The God within you is systematic. He is exact. He is a builder. And you, crafted in His image, must also build. The chasm between dreaming and dominating is bridged by strategy.
And understand, strategy is not complex. It is a sequence of intelligent, consistent actions taken toward a divine objective. You need not do everything at once. You need to know the next step and execute it with excellence. You must concentrate your energy like a laser beam, not a diffuse bulb, for scattered effort yields scattered results. But focused faith produces exponential returns. This is why you were never meant to build alone. A man who isolates his thinking limits his potential. You must build your mastermind, a council of trusted allies, mentors, and partners who resonate with your vision. In that harmony of purpose, divine intelligence multiplies, ideas are refined, resources are pooled, and faith is fortified. Do not underestimate this law. The right alliance can compress a decade of effort into a single year of revelation. Wealth seldom visits the lonely thinker. Success is a collective energy. Power is amplified in alliance, and within that alliance, your decision becomes your declaration of faith. The indecisive man is divided, and as Scripture says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Abundance does not flow to the confused. Triumph does not belong to the hesitant. Authority does not reside in the uncertain. You must become a man who decides swiftly and alters course slowly.
Why? Because decision is the act through which you demonstrate faith. Every clear decision announces to the universe, I know my identity, I know my desire, and I trust that the necessary means will be provided as I advance. That kind of man is rare. That kind of man is wealthy. Do not await perfect conditions. Do not await total comprehension. Do not await universal approval. Make the decision that honors your highest self, then act as if it is already accomplished. When you commit absolutely, the details align. And once you've decided, you must shield that decision with persistence. Persistence is not mere stubbornness. Persistence is spiritual loyalty to your vision. It is the quiet, unwavering refusal to exchange your divine destiny for a life of mediocrity. The world will test you, it will push back, but the man who persists, backed by purpose, reinforced by prayer, and driven by faith, cannot be defeated, for he does not rely on external validation. He draws power from within, and that is where the God within becomes your supreme advantage. While others grow weary, you tap into an endless reservoir. While others quit at the first obstacle, you remember that pressure is a precursor to promotion, that opposition is proof you are advancing, that delays are not denials, they are divine preparations. You must learn to cherish the process, to bless the friction, to see every setback as sacred, for all things are working together for your good. All things, even the pain, even the silence, even the seasons where nothing seems to progress. That is when the authentic construction is happening. That is when you are being prepared for a level of success you prayed for but lacked the spiritual muscle to hold. That preparation requires time, but time is not your foe. Time is your ally when you walk with God. He is not hurried. He is not perplexed. He is forging you into a man who can build empires, not just chase paychecks. He is sculpting character, not just arranging comfort. And if you trust that process, your reward will exceed your grandest imagination. Now I must address your relationship with money, for most men have inherited beliefs that blockade their blessing. Money is not evil. Money is not corrupt. Money is not unspiritual. Money is a tool, a servant, a multiplier. In the hands of a principled man, money nourishes families, finances visions, heals communities, and creates generational legacy. So why do you fear to claim it? Why do you hesitate to ask, earn, receive, and manage it with authority? Because somewhere you were taught that spirituality and prosperity are opposites, that to desire more is greed, that to be wealthy is to be compromised. But I declare to you now, the most damaging lie ever sold to keep men in lack is that wealth is unrighteous. The truth is this. When a righteous man becomes prosperous, the world improves because his wealth circulates through clean channels. It funds solutions. It rewards excellence. It inspires others to believe they too can rise. Henceforth, you must view money not as a goal, but as a byproduct of value creation, a byproduct of impact, a byproduct of alignment with spiritual law. The more value you create, the more money will flow to you, effortlessly, shamelessly, and unapologetically. And what is the most potent form of value creation? Solving problems. The man who solves significant problems is the man who accrues significant wealth. Therefore, you must train your mind to see solutions where others see only barriers. Every challenge is an invitation to creativity, and creativity is divine currency. You are a problem solver. You are a pioneer. You are a visionary. You are not here to labor for money. You are here to design systems, to build enterprises, to invent, to write, to guide, to lead. Whatever your calling, know this: the more you grow, the more you earn. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you trust the God within you, the more life will entrust you with opportunity. And I will tell you one more crucial element. Your environment is decisive.
The voices you hear, the people you associate with, the content you consume, these shape your atmosphere. An atmosphere dictates growth. You cannot cultivate wealth in a toxic, cynical, or lazy atmosphere. You cannot grow rich while listening to frequencies of fear, gossip, and doubt. You must construct an atmosphere of belief in your home, your mind, your dialogues. Surround yourself with those who speak life. Read material that expands your intellect. Consume teachings that ignite your spirit. Guard your gates, what you hear, what you see, what you entertain. For your input shapes your inner world, and your inner world manifests as your outer reality. And if no one in your immediate circle believes at the level you aspire to, then be the first. Ignite the movement. Be the proof. Be the living evidence that one man connected to God can alter everything. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not trapped. You are being summoned to a higher frequency, and the summons is unequivocal. Ascend. Think loftier. Live wealthier. Give more generously. Decide more rapidly. Move more boldly. For when a man aligns his thoughts with divine truth, the entire cosmos conspires to reward him. You require no one's permission. You need no applause. You need no spotlight. You only need one conviction, that the same intelligence that engineered the universe dwells within you, and through that connection, all things become possible. Now write your vision again, but this time magnify it. Set your goals again, but this time amplify them. Speak your truth again, but this time proclaim it. Act on your plan again, but this time without flinching. For the world does not need more noise. It needs you, fully activated, fully aligned, and fully alive. And that version of you, he is approaching. He is prepared. He is already here. Now we arrive at the juncture few ever reach, not due to a lack of potential, but a lack of spiritual endurance. You see, it is not intellect, talent, or even opportunity that ultimately separates the wealthy man from the average man. It is stamina of the soul, the choice to remain on course when it's arduous, to walk by faith when evidence is scant, to believe in the unseen while constructing in the seen. This stamina does not originate from willpower alone. It springs from your alignment with the divine. A man deeply connected does not require constant external motivation. He possesses revelation. He does not collapse under delay. He understands that all things work together, not merely the pleasant things, but the setbacks, the silences, the waits. For everything that feels like resistance is often preparation, and preparation creates capacity for true wealth, the kind that doesn't flee in crisis, that cannot be eroded by markets, that outlives your earthly years. The richest men in history are not remembered for their earnings, but for their edifices, for the depth of their impact and the breadth of their service. Therefore, if you desire to grow authentically rich, with the God within guiding your every move, you must become more than an earner. You must become a builder of people, a builder of vision, a builder of systems, principles, values, and legacies. This demands integrity. It demands maturity. It demands you step out of petty thinking and into sacred stewardship. Begin to perceive yourself not merely as a man who earns, but a man who multiplies, a man who manages, a man who transforms every environment he enters because he carries within him the unmistakable presence of divine intelligence. That presence, when fully activated, becomes your most valuable asset. When you enter a room, you are not alone. When you present your idea, you are not speaking alone. When you make a decision, you are not choosing alone. You are being guided, moment by moment, by a voice that is quiet but infallible. That voice is not found in clamor. It is found in stillness. Thus, you must protect your peace, silence the distractions, close the unnecessary tabs, withdraw from the world's noise, and commune with the one who bestowed the vision. For the more successful you become, the more seductive it will be to lean on your own strength. But man was never meant to operate on strength alone. He was designed to operate on spiritual power. And that power is renewed in solitude, not in acclaim. So return to your source consistently, keep your inner ear tuned to his guidance, and never forget, all the riches on earth cannot purchase a single moment of divine instruction. You now comprehend what most men never will, that riches are not something you pursue, they are something you become. You become rich internally first, through thoughts of confidence, peace, vision, and purpose. Then you express that richness through faith-filled, bold, strategic action. And here is its beauty. Once you become that man, no one can strip it from you.
You could lose the business and rebuild it. You could lose the deal and secure a greater one. For the source of your wealth is not in an account. It is in your mind, your spirit, your character, your habits. This is the essence of thinking and growing rich with the God in you. It is not about luck, it is about law. And universal laws always respond to the man in right relationship with himself and his Creator. Now let's discuss the daily practice of mastery. What must you do each day to remain in this frequency of overflow? You must begin your day with intention. Before the world imposes its agenda, you impose your divine order through prayer, meditation, gratitude, writing your aims, visualizing your outcomes, and declaring your identity. I am abundant because I am one with the source of all provision. I am poised because I trust divine timing. I am courageous because I am fashioned in the image of greatness. These are not mere affirmations, they are activations. They activate your highest, most confident, most prosperous self. Then you must follow those declarations with focused execution. Create the content, make the call, send the proposal, build the system, refine the product, study your craft, mentor another. Above all, do what you said you would do, for nothing attracts wealth faster than integrity in motion. When God observes a man who is faithful in small things, he entrusts him with greater things. The man who honors his word when no one watches becomes a man of influence. The man who persists when it is difficult becomes a magnet for divine favor. That favor is not random, it is earned, not through exertion alone, but through alignment. Now I will address your fears. What if I fail? What if I appear foolish? What if I lose it all? I tell you, those are the echoes of a former self. That man is gone. The man you are becoming does not ask, what if I fail? He asks, what if I soar? He asks, what if my obedience unlocks blessings for generations? He asks, what if I am the catalyst for global change? And then he moves, not in fear, but in faith. This is how you prevail in silence. This is how you construct in the shadows, long before the spotlight finds you. This is how you become so rooted in your true identity that success does not surprise you, it simply confirms what you already knew. And when abundance arrives, and it will, you will not be unsettled because your joy did not derive from the outcome. It flowed from the revelation that you are not alone, not small, not disqualified. You are chosen. You are connected.
You are favored, and everything required is already within you, awaiting your claim through clarity, courage, and unwavering commitment. This is the millionaire mindset, powered by the divine. This is the secret core of the world's most transformative leaders. This is the distinction between men who labor hard for money and men who attract wealth while revolutionizing lives. One is striving, the other is streaming. One is grinding, the other is glowing. One is searching for answers, the other has become a conduit through which answers flow. So, which will you be? Will you continue thinking like a man disconnected from his source? Or will you finally embrace the truth that the same force that spun galaxies lives in you, speaks through you, and works for you? When you accept that truth, you will not need to chase money. Money will chase you. Because money is not moved by effort alone. It is moved by energy. The energy of purpose, the energy of boldness, the energy of generosity, the energy of divine obedience. And that energy is now yours if you choose to live at this elevated frequency. So, write the book, launch the enterprise, take the leap, build the brand, elevate your standard, declare the vision, bless the world, and do not glance back. You are not the man you once were. You are not who they defined you to be. You are becoming exactly who God architected you to be. Powerful, clear, prosperous, fully aligned with destiny. The world will soon know your name, not because you clamored for attention, but because you stood firm, not because you pleaded, but because you believed, not because you imitated, but because you heeded the voice within. That voice will never abandon you. It will never fail you. It is the God in you. And when you think with Him, walk with Him, build with Him, you will grow rich in measures beyond quantification, rich in finances, rich in favor, rich in fulfillment, rich in peace, rich in legacy. All because you finally understood the secret was never outside you, it was always within.